realize this is sudden, but I'm Margaret. We met at the Velvet Room the other day. There is one important point I forgot to warn you about, so I thought it best to contact you immediately.
Oh.
The bonds created through social links are another important means of strengthening the powers of your persona. Though you may be pressed for time, devoting yourself to battles will not quench your heart's yearnings. Do not hasten heedlessly through your days, and remember the importance of moving at a sustainable pace. Please remember that. Well then, if you'll excuse me.
I love how she says she's pressed for time despite the fact that we just rescued Yukiko. So we're really not pressed for time, actually. But it's not like they're gonna change dialogue for that, for the one particular instance that you do complete Yukiko's castle right away on the first day. Even on a New Game Plus run. But anyway, what's up everyone? This is the Destroyer229, and welcome back to Let's Play Persona 4 Golden. Last time, we did what I said we did. We completed off Yukiko's castle. Yukiko is now safe, and we've got a lot of time on our hands. In this episode, we are going to go through classes and steadily go through the different social links that we have available. Just kind of recapping them and steadily getting through our days to hit the deadline. Now it's suddenly after school. So, yeah, nice little strength and a little bit of a hermit cameo as well. But now we can go and join the sports club. Now, an interesting question that actually I responded to just today before recording was about the alternate social links between strength, moon, and sun. I guess half of moon, but still. I will not be showing those. When I did the original Persona 4 Let's Play, after I beat the game, I also then went and did the Daisuke, Ayane, and the alternate form for Eyes social links. Those were all done in separate videos that would just kind of hit the main beats for those. And even when I went to Ayane, I even decided to go through the romance route for whatever that was worth. That was mostly just because I was not expecting to actually be able to do Persona 4 Golden. If I had known at the time that I would be able to do this, I definitely would have saved it for, blah, 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 telling us about all the different things with higher level, social links. So if I'd known that, I probably wouldn't have done those videos and would have done them here. time, I have zero regrets. Wow. I have zero regrets doing those videos at the time because it honestly led to my most viewed video ever. Which was just, how do you reverse and break all of I's social link? Every single instance of it. So, yeah, zero regrets about that. But it also means that there's no real reason for us to show it off now. So, I'll still kind of go through it in the background. What I'll do is essentially, like, I'm doing Ko and Yumi's, just because I have that written down for my notes. With Ai's, though, Ai's is just going to be the non-romance route. Non-initial romance route, I could say. Ai's is always weird how you're going to classify it. It's when you don't agree to be her boyfriend at around rank 5-ish. And where you could actually get to be her boyfriend permanently. So we're gonna go through that route when it comes to Ai. Not that we'll actually be showing the social link, but just so you know what it is. Like I said, it's mostly just because it also falls under that redundancy that we're going to be skipping through the social link ranks anyway. So let's go ahead and ask about the clubs and skip through this. Okay, so now that we've talked to King Moron, now we can go and actually join one of the sports clubs. So, yes, come to think of it. What the? Oh. My controller just does not ever warn me whenever it's close to dying. Ever. Here, hold on. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and join basketball again. Thou art I, and I am thou. Thou has established a new bond. It brings thee closer to the truth. Thou shalt be blessed in creating personas of the Strength Arcana. Now we've once again re-established the Strength social link with Ko and Daisuke. I honestly don't think there's any difference between... No, yeah, there isn't really any difference with Strength between the original and Golden. So, we're pretty much just gonna be... I wouldn't necessarily say ignoring, but we're going to be skipping through this social link quite a bit. So, yeah, not really a whole lot to talk about with this one. Dude, you gotta stop polishing those balls, man. I can't stop, man! These balls are on fire! That will never not be funny to me. You know what? Since it really doesn't matter, do it! They just say, alright, see you later! It's honestly not as bad as I was expecting it to be. Alright. Okay, well, since Dojima isn't here, we can indeed sneak out. So I did mention this before when we were able to leave the first time. We can only leave if Dojima isn't around and we don't have a reason to go out at night. Of course, kind of like in Persona 5, if you head into the TV world, you will not be able to sneak out at night and can only do stuff at the Dojima residence. So, not really that big of a deal. And even then, when it comes to Dojima residence, if you complete the dungeon, you don't even get your evening. So, yeah, that's really only applicable if you go to the TV world and don't complete a dungeon, or you're just doing just regular training. It's really early on in the game, so I don't expect there to be any social links that we can really do kind of sneaking around at night. No, we don't have any job openings at the moment. Oh, whoa, Yosuke's out here. Okay, well, this'll work as a neat little introduction to this.
Yo!
So, yeah, I've never actually hung out with anyone where it wasn't a required rank up at night. But yeah, basically, if you spend time with someone that night, it does develop points for their social links. A lot more than if you, say, go to the shrine. So you do become a lot closer, but you will never be able to actually rank up with them. So yeah. Cannot progress to the next rank at night, since usually when it comes to the scenes, they're coded to be, during the day. So nighttime only helps you gain additional points if necessary. And it says, be sure to spend your time wisely, but we honestly just do not have anything else that we can do at the moment. Come closer to those whose social links you wish to develop. So yeah, it does help with that. Obviously, there are other ways to be able to develop that, like say to make the lunches, since that's still a thing. But this also extends to social links that are outside of school, whereas lunches are only for school time social links. And it also helps to have a matching persona while you do this. I don't think it's actually necessary to do this at all during a max social link run. So if you're following a guide, I don't think there's ever a point where you actually need to spend time with someone at night. But let's go ahead and just show this off. I've never actually seen this one, so this will be new for me too.
Yep.
Well, thanks, Yosuke. If I'm ever in need of, to just hang out with someone, you'll be the first to call. Well, thankfully Dojima left me a desk to use. But I mean, yeah, it was kind of a pain to unbox everything. So yeah, that's actually quite nice. And it does seem like, since this is very much dependent on what rank in the social link you're in, because that felt very like, what you would expect at the beginning of the game, or just at rank 1 with him. So there's probably a lot of these different interactions depending on the specific rank that you are at with each individual person's social link. Unfortunately, we won't be able to really do this too often. I might be able to do this if we just do not have any nighttime activities. But once we get social links and books, and then fishing as well, there's going to be quite a bit of things that we'll be able to do during our nighttime activities, and we won't be able to spend too much time doing just this general hangout that most people really don't get to see. So it would be nice to show more of these, but I'm gonna try showing as many activities as we can, while also trying to make sure that, you know, we max out all the social links and we do all the other content. So unfortunately, a lot of this stuff's not gonna get shown off, unfortunately. But it would be a nice thing to, you know, kind of show off a little bit more of while we can.
Whoa. You can have this.
A Quirlery Mate? I'm gonna have to check that out. I've never seen that item before. See ya, Yosuke.
Night.
Morning!
Oh, morning, Chie. Oh, that's good to hear. Wow. It's good to hear that she's getting better at the very least. That's very interesting. That's very much different. And regular social link time. And it is going to be Yosuke.
What's up?
So we have with him. And that's it. Because we don't have access to Sun yet. The answer is 3. I do find it interesting that this seems to be like an actual book series that was released in 2009, which couldn't have been a question in the original game because it came out in 2008, but the game takes place in 2011. Mind-boggling with dates because everything's recent and it's a remake and whatnot. Very interesting. Alright, well, we've got that taken care of. It is also really interesting, yeah. I never even thought about that since I rescued Yukiko so quickly that it does actually change with, you know, everyone saying, oh man, we should go rescue Yukiko. And yet it's so early that normally you don't get that. Like, it's not like... Normally, that wouldn't be a problem when you rescue, like, Nanako or Rise. But seeing that for Yukiko is just weird for me. Anyway, we do have quite a few things that we should probably do while we are in town. The first thing is to get books. So the book menu is very different. And once again, is one of those things that if you played Persona 5, you're familiar with the layout of this, because Persona 4 Golden is where this started. So, very different compared to the original. There are a ton of different books, and a lot of new books as well that weren't in the original. So we can go ahead and buy these books. So we've got The Lovely Man, which wasn't the original. Expert study methods, which will automatically grant us extra knowledge whenever we study in any capacity. Doesn't matter if we are just studying in our rooms regularly, or if it's for midterms, or even when it's like summer school, or not summer school, summer homework. Like anytime you are doing studying at your desk or like at the library, this will give you a free extra point in knowledge that even stacks whenever you get the lucky, like, oh, you've researched a few dictionary entries that piqued your interest. You can also get that as well. So this is at least a guaranteed knowledge buff if you do a lot of just regular studying for knowledge. And then beginner fishing, which we will be able to, once we read that, we'll have an extra go with fishing fish. Fishing does work quite a bit different, actually, now that I think about it, in terms of both the amount of tries that you get, as well as how fishing just works in general. We'll buy the book, but we'll lay off on the fishing explanation when we actually can fish. But while we're also here, we've got a lot of materials that we can sell. So, overall, 20,000 yen for being able to do this. And a few extra items. So we get the Poison Kunai. And Nanman Gusoku. As well as Survival Guard. Neat. Okay. Kevlar Vest might not be bad to hold on to just to have Yukiko. Let's see. I suppose I can get rid of just the basic accessories as well. Plain ring and the aluminum badge. Okay. I don't think there's really anything else that I really want to sell, and that does leave us with about 34,000 yen. That's not exactly great, all things considered. We can potentially get some really good weapons for this point in the game, if we really wanted to. Unfortunately, as much as I really want to just have a ton of money to just buy all this stuff really fast, I'm gonna hold off on buying equipment right now. There is something that I very much want to get for the next time we head on into the TV world. Plus, it also helps to just have a bit of money on hand. So I'll go ahead and just leave that there. I don't think there was really anything else. No, I don't think there's really anything else that we can really do right now, unless... No, we can actually do this. I didn't discover this until a little bit further in my playthrough, but I guess we can do this right away. I mean, to be fair, water's probably much better for this kid. Before we do anything, though, what was... Culinary Mate. Health bar restores 25 HP, so not really great. It's just barely better than a peach seed. So the kid is asking for the natural, which I think is a drink from this vending machine? Yeah. Dang. Okay, well, that's fine. So we can get that, and we can go back to the kid here at the shrine. And we can give him one of this drink. So we get a Tatsuhime Ladybug. So that is very interesting. We have a brand new type of item to go over, and that are bugs. Bugs can be used for all sorts of different things, mostly as bait. Bugs are basically our bait that we can use to go and attract various fish whenever we go and do fishing. So, the different types of bugs that you get will attract different types of fish. So, the Tatsuhime Ladybug will allow us to catch either Genji Ayu or Amber Sema. The type of fish that you attract isn't just limited to just bait, as well as like how rigorous the water is flashing, though that will be also a determining factor whenever we have to go get the Guardian, because that's a thing that we need to do eventually at some point much later down the road. But as we get further into the game, we will be getting better bugs to attract different fish. I believe the Tatsuhime Ladybug is also useful for one other thing in particular. We don't have access to that yet, though, but that is something that will become important later. In the meantime, I don't think there's really... that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to leave the shopping district. I don't think there's anything else that we really can do right now. So in the meantime, we are going to go and Yosuke's down on the first floor, isn't he? Where's Yosuke? Yosuke? You were here earlier. I swear I thought I saw him on the second floor, but I guess I didn't actually do that. It's like did Yosuke move? I don't think he moved. Anyway, let's go ahead and spend some time with Yosuke. It feels so empty doing it without my jingles. Oh well. But anyway, you might be wondering, well, why exactly are we showing this part? Well, there's actually a brand new addition when it comes to your party members' rank ups. Every other rank up that you get, which is basically any rank up that doesn't just give you a passive ability, like wake up a knockdown ally, cure status ailments, follow-up attacks, and all the other stuff, if you're not getting any of those, each party member has their own unique skills that they can only get through rank ups. So at rank 2, Yosuke will learn Tsurufury. Now a lot of these are kind of interesting and give kind of alternative purposes to other party members. Sometimes it will give them things that, are a little bit more of a boost to some niches that they already have. Some give them brand new abilities overall. And there is one particular instance that just makes one character insanely broken. Hint, hint. But at the very least, like I said, sometimes that they do completely change up what a person can do. The immediate thing that I can think of right now is that pretty early on, I believe, Yukiko actually gets Mudo, which is very interesting to me, because it's essentially combining Yukari and Koromaru in one. But yeah, it is kind of interesting that they do just have all these different other skills that they can get. And it does give them a little bit more... Personality might not be the best word, but kind of allows them to fulfill other roles that they may not have been able to do in the original game. So, it's really nice to be able to get these other types of skills. And with Yosuke and getting Tadafiri, that's not really super good, admittedly. Some of them are pretty niche or not really all that great. Tadafiri would just basically, forget if that allows us to do a go home or a vanish ball. I forget which one it is. No, I think it's escape from battle. I think Triesto... I'm gonna need to look it up. I forget which one does what. But anyway, it basically would use up SP instead of using an item. Not really super great. We'll probably get rid of it at some point. But at least early on, since we don't have a full list of skills, I mean, it's a nice little niche use if we're running low on those items. And obviously, same thing, you get the bonus to fusion of the same Arcana. And spending time with one person opens up doors to spending time with other people. But I'm still eating.
Okay, let's head home.
Welcome home.
Thanks, Nanako. Okay, so at the very least now, I can go ahead and show what we can do with books. So, just basic tutorial on various things here. Blah, 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 blah. The interesting thing is you can examine the calendar. I'm not sure if you could do this in the original. There's also the Bonding album, which is very much unique to Golden. So, the calendar just kind of shows you when there's any sort of like holidays or anything that's interesting coming up. You've got midterms, you've got Golden Week here. I think this is just a regular just calendar, which will show you various things. I don't think... Yeah, it doesn't really show deadlines. I don't remember that being accessible. Like, obviously the calendar was there, but I don't think it actually served any use, if I'm remembering right. Still really doesn't, but whatever. Okay. So we got that. We got the sofa. But we can also view the album. So, this will essentially allow us to revisit any rank up from any sort of social link that we've done. Now, normally, this would only apply to the social links that you've currently unlocked, that you can then revisit and maybe see what different options will lead to. Doesn't actually change anything, but does allow you to kind of revisit those social links and kind of, see what things would be different if you did certain responses. I believe when it comes to potential dating ones, yeah. So for certain ones, the rank 10 or just anyone that would be different, I think would be split between friendship or lovers. So this one is specifically the lovers, since, I went with that one. We're going to go through that again, although I will have another save to get that costume. That's going to be annoying to try to get. But this does allow you to just go through all of the different social links that you've gone through. So again, if you just want to relive them, if you doing things like what I'm doing, you can get other footage for stuff as well. And just overall just see what different options would lead to. But we also have books. So, once again, if you've played Persona 5, this looks very familiar to you. Bleh. Cannot speak tonight. So, how books work in this game is essentially, rather than choosing to read either thoroughly or quickly and you get stat boosts every time you read, instead, it is basically a set amount of chapters that you have to read. You can only go through one chapter per night, at the very least at the start. And then once you've read all the chapters, you've read the book, and you get all of the associated bonuses that are associated with the book. So with the Lovely Man, if we read chapter 1, we don't actually get anything. Instead, we get a pretty big boost to courage once we have read both chapters. When it comes to things like the expert study methods, you get that bonus once you've completed the entire book. Again, if you played Persona 5, this works exactly how Persona 5 does it because it took it from Golden. There is a book that we get later on that will allow us to basically speed read, which would allow us to read 2 chapters at a time. And if you are planning on doing quite a bit of reading, the best time to read books is during a rainy night. Because getting a rainy night will also give you points, I want to say to diligence. Not 100% sure on that, but I know it gives you social points to either diligence or knowledge. I want to say it's diligence, not 100% sure on that. But if you are planning on doing quite a bit of reading, doing it on rainy nights would probably be your best bet. Right now, it doesn't really matter what we do, since I am planning on reading all the books as well. So that's another thing that we're going to be doing in our nighttime events, which is also why we're not going to really spend too much time on the nighttime hangouts. I will say I will be showing off all of the daytime hangouts. Like a social link calls us over the phone and wants to hang out with them. We will be showing off every single one of those. That is something I can guarantee that we're going to do. We'll have a lot of time left over. It won't interfere with anything when it comes to social links. So that shouldn't be a problem. But doing all the book reading, if you're playing on other consoles, this is required for achievements. I am kind of trying to show most things that would get you achievements. Since I'm playing on the Switch, I don't have access to show what all the achievements are because the Switch doesn't have achievements, which is kind of a bummer. But I will at the very least show off just trying to do all of these other things. So if you're playing along or just kind of want to see how things go, you'll see what exactly is necessary to get all of those achievements if you're playing on other consoles or on Steam. For the start, though, we'll go with beginner fishing, since this is something that would actually be helpful to us, even on New Game Plus. So we'll go ahead and spend our evening reading this. So I'll also at least show off what the books all say as well, even if they are books from the previous game. It's only fair. And now it's after school. We can spend time with Ko. First off, okay, Yosuke isn't available. Second, do I have strength? Yes, Valkyrie. Okay. In which case, I don't think there's anything particularly new. Well, actually, now there is one thing that we might be able to do as well. And that involves going back to the shopping district. So I think one thing to potentially try to do is continuing to talk to this bug-catching kid. He'll ask for various things around town, we have to go get them, and eventually we'll be able to get a nice reward that will help us with fishing. I don't think drinking water is going to help you if you're hungry for a steak skewer. But at the very least, that's a pretty easy thing to get. We just go to Sozai Daigaku and get a steak skewer. So we got that. We go back to the kid. And we give him the steak skewer. So we get another Tatsuhime Ladybug. Yeah, we can only do that once per day. So it is important that we continue to do that because it is going to be very nice to actually get what he has. But in the meantime, I don't think there's anything that we can do otherwise. I don't think there are any other quests that are available right now. Yeah, I don't think there's any other quests that are available right now. Otherwise, I think I would have marked that down in my notes. So in the meantime, we're gonna hang out with Ko and Daisuke.
Welcome home.
Alright, so with that, again, there's not really a whole lot we can do. Still can't do any jobs, so we'll just go ahead and read about more fishing.
What's up?
Oh, hey, Yosuke. Right? How old was he? Like 8? No idea. But our best bet right now is for Yukiko to remember anything, and we're just gonna have to wait for her to get better before we even attempt that. I do appreciate all the different little cameos for all future social links that we'll be getting. But at the very least, before we do anything, we're once again heading on over to the shrine. Let's see what this kid wants now. He wants an orange smash. Okay. Glad I didn't opted not to do all of this, because otherwise I'd have to wait until the next Monday. Oh, Orange Smash isn't on here. Is Orange Smash? I don't think that's the one in this one. Ow. I was just saying, like, oh, it's a good thing that we didn't use up all the soda machine things, and here we are using up all the soda machine things. Other... I don't think there's any vending machines. No, there's none in Junes. Well, this gives me an idea. We can theoretically spend time with Yosuke today, but I've got another idea. Normally, Marie shows up outside the Velvet Room. So, if we listen to her request, is that how we kickstart it, or do we still have to wait for her?
Huh?
Okay, so yes, so we do actually need to talk to Marie first before she'll appear outside the Velvet Room for us to, take her out to develop her social link. So even though we could spend more time with Yosuke, we'll go ahead and kickstart Marie's social link. And actually show off a social link this episode in its entirety. Yeah, of course. I've heard worse. Yeah, that's definitely a saying that I've heard before.
Let's go.
Alright. Nostalgic? How is it nostalgic? Marie?
Hey. It's difficult to say.
Afraid not, Marie. Here, want me to pay for it? It's on me.
Huh?
Well, it's the least I can do.
What's up?
Oh, hey, Yosuke. Oh boy. She's an acquaintance of mine. Someone that I met here in Inaba. Well, I mean, I was going to do the same thing, but... You know, if someone offers, then the polite thing to do is to accept. Anyway, it's steak skewers here just the other day. Oh well. Well, just because she liked it doesn't mean it's free from critique, right?
Hey,
I know a lot of people just love saying steak, but honestly, this one is the best option. Anyone who knows me and knows what this means knows I'm gonna pick this one, and you're damn right I'm gonna pick this one. Short for beefsteak.
beef steak?
And there it is. Well, maybe not every day, but... Well, at least we found one thing she likes here.
Whoa!
Alright, later. I mean, that's one way of putting it, but he's a nice guy. Nice view? Oh, I mean... I do like how I'm able to find where this place is, despite the fact that I've never stepped foot here before. Technically. I'm willing to bet that probably, like, Yosuke would have told you earlier about kind of places. No, I don't know. That's my headcanon anyway.
Oh,
I mean, that's nature for you. A lot of greens and browns, especially in a more forest-like area. Huh. That's actually a rather nice poem, and she came up with that on the spot?
I said no.
Uh-huh. Snoop, I was standing here the whole time! Marie? Well, let's see. I mean, there's still the riverbed, there's still Junes. I mean, there are a few other places that we could probably go to before we take you back. Today was fun. Thou art I, and I am thou. Thou hast established a new bond. It brings thee closer to the truth. Thou shalt be blessed in creating personas of the Aeon Arcana. And thus we've established the Marie social link of the Aeon Arcana. One of the two brand new social links that Golden introduces. So we'll be spending quite a bit more time with Marie, especially since this is going to be one of the few characters that we will see quite a bit more, considering we're skipping over all the other social links. But this is just a regular social link. We are going to need to bring an Aeon Arcana persona in order to get the most points out of this. So we'll need to head back to the Velvet Room. Thankfully, I know I've got a few Aeon personas that I could buy. But at the very least, when it comes to Marie, Marie is pretty sporadic. She does tend to be pretty regularly available once the next rank up is in fact available. Like I mentioned before, Marie's can be pretty sporadic, and unlike, say, I'm trying to think of another social link that is kind of time-based restricted. I'm not sure there's really any others that are like it in Persona 4. The best comparison I can think of is Sojiro in Persona 5. Since like the second half of his social link, it comes out once you get Futaba. It's kind of similar to that, except not as demanding and also sporadically throughout the course of the game. That's the best comparison that I can think of right now. That is probably the closest. So there will be long periods of time where we won't actually see Marie available. I do know that she becomes very much available like every single day close to the end of the game. Bringing it around to someone else that also would be applicable, it's very similar to Maruki. In which case there are time frames in which he is available, and then just hard cutoff dates where you cannot progress until a certain day. And is also, similar to Maruki, mandatory in order to get to the third semester, since there is a third semester in Persona 4 Golden. So, absolutely, spend time with Marie. Marie is important, even though a lot of people don't like her. We will get to my feelings of the matter in another dungeon. But yeah, spend time with Marie. It's important. It'll be sporadic. Still hang out with her.
See ya.
Later, Marie.
Welcome home.
Alright, well, now that we've at least we've unlocked one old social link and shown off a brand new social link, as well as showing a lot of brand new features that Golden has to offer. So with that, we're calling it a day here. So, next time on Let's Play, Persona 4 Golden. We're pretty much going to try to speedrun the rest of the social link aspects until hopefully we get to the deadline. I'm hoping that we can reach the deadline next episode, since a lot of this was also just showing off a bunch of extra features, things that changed, selling crap. So it'll be nice if we can get that. I'm not sure if we necessarily will, but we'll do our best. Like I said, Marie tends to be pretty sporadically available because it very much depends on unlocking various party members throughout the game. So I think rank 2 does require us to actually have completely passed the deadline for Yukiko. I think. But as we progress through the game, Marie's social link will become available, because otherwise, after we hit a certain point, she will just not show up for long stretches of time until another party member is available. Because that party member is going to be involved in her social link. Yosuke showed up. That is a recurring theme when it comes to Marie. So do get used to that. But otherwise, we're just going to try to spend our evenings as best we can. We may try to show off some more nighttime events if they are indeed available. I'm not sure if there's anyone out this night that we would necessarily be able to do anything with. Yosuke is not available, so there's not really a whole lot we can really do. So in that case, we're just gonna read more books anyway. But, like I said, we will just continue to spend our days and try to speedrun our way through most of the daytime and nighttime events. So until next time, everyone, take care.